that awkward there's that awkward moment where you're following somebody for a while, you're used to hearing what they say, you read their books, you watch their videos and stuff, and then you wake up one day and it's like they've gone completely fucking bonkers. And you're like, I didn't sign up to this. And you know, that concerns me a lot about the people that I listen to, where I'm like, I've become a bit paranoid. I'm listening to people and I'm like, okay, this, it feels like it's leading somewhere, but I've never been given the satisfaction of knowing where it's leaning to, and it makes me really nervous to hear people speak like they're speaking with such conviction. They're saying it's like this and it's like that, and if you add this thing with that thing, it da, 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 da. And I'm going, we're leading somewhere here, but he never, he's, you know, this speaker, she's never quite taking me to the final place. This speaker, he's never quite taking me to where he really wants to go. And there's nothing worse than sort of going along with somebody, offering them your support, your time, your attention, sometimes money, and it can go on for years. And then you wake up one day and find out, oh my God, this guy was actually recruiting for some super secret mystic cult of Sufis, modern day Sufis, who are even outlawed not just by mainstream Sunni Islam, but by Sufis as well, because they're so out there. They like believe in recreation and they believe in all these ideas that are completely haram. I'm not, by the way. I'm not. But it bothers me when I hear people talking and I don't know where they're going towards. And then I have a period in my life like I'm having right now. And I'm going, oh dear. Okay. How am I gonna tell people where I'm up to? Without everybody just going, right, fuck it, this guy's lost his mind. You know, this isn't what I signed up for, and you know, the channel just collapses in on itself. I lose like half of my viewership overnight. So I wanna speak freely. The way that the channel has progressed. Can you guys just let me know? Can you see me okay? Because I know my upload speed has been a little bit dodgy in Ibiza whilst the storms have been on. Can you hear and see me okay? Waiting for the moment, like a snake. Okay, cool. Yeah, you can see me. Okay, that's good. Right. Not everybody's up to date. Not everybody actually really knows what the Spartan Life Coach Project is. I've been reported to several bodies this year and several people. I only know this because those people who I was reported to, or organisations who I was reported to, came to me and informed me. There's people trying to deplatform me. Okay, big fucking deal. Of course there are. You know, if you take a strident stance on a controversial subject like mental health, people are going to get upset. If you work the way I work, eventually people are going to get disappointed. They're going to feel hurt. They're going to feel like their professional relationship with you was going to become a personal relationship, and then when it doesn't and they find out you really do actually have quite hard professional boundaries despite your bantering demeanor on YouTube videos, they get really upset. Some get so upset that they would actually like to see you put out of business. Some get so upset that they'd actually like to see you not help other people. It's been a really tough year from that point of view. Not the accusations, I can deal with that. I've been working online since 2006. I can deal with mobbing, I can deal with slander, I can deal with libel. But when I see people are really so embittered that they would like to have me removed, even if it affected other people, even if it hurt other people, that makes me actually, it does, I have to be honest with you, I hate the fucking word trigger, but it does have an effect on me. It's a stimulus that does have an emotional effect on me. And it's not a pleasant one. It's horrible to see that kind of bitter selfishness actually play out face to face. By the way, none of the accusations have moved forward. None of the governing bodies or the people who these not very nice individuals thought were the policemen of the internet or the policemen of mental health have any interest in pursuing it whatsoever, just so you know. That's not where it's coming from, but it's coming from that. It's not a serious threat because I'm actually not doing anything illegal. Wow, who'd have thought it? That actually expressing an opinion that differs from somebody else's opinion is not illegal yet. Not yet, but we're nearly there, kids. We're nearly there. And upsetting somebody is not illegal, and saying no to somebody is not illegal. In the vast majority of the cases of the people who've resorted to stalking me, who've resorted to trying to deplatform me, or actually have me shut down professionally, it's actually not illegal to say no to you. You needed to hear no. All of you needed to hear the word no. And that's just life, kids. That's just the way it works. Where has this led me to? It's led me to a point. Several factors have led me to a point. I mean, I've been out here pretty much quite a lot of time on my own in Ibiza. I'm doing this 75 hard protocol at the moment, which if you haven't heard of it, you can look it up. It's quite hard mentally, and it's known for taking people to a different place mentally. And I can just see things differently. So this video is just my opinion. I'm not speaking as a coach. I'm not speaking as a mental health advocate. I never meant to get here. Like, I've said this before, but you all need to understand this. I am not a psychotherapist. I'm not registered with any governing body. The only tenuous link I have with any governing body is that my psychology degree is approved by the British Psychology Society. I have no interest in being approved by them or qualified by them. None whatsoever. That moment has long passed. You can't get upset with me for being a bad psychotherapist. I'm nobody's psychotherapist. At this point in my life, I'm nobody's life coach even. I don't even offer that kind of advice. What this project started out as was a branch of another project called Street Fight Secrets, because I'm a self-defense instructor. That's what I am professionally. That's how I started working online. And it became this thing. And I have the sensitivity to know that if I'm working on a project that attracts people who have PTSD and who have personality issues that can lean sometimes towards certain elements of psychotic delusion and certain elements of borderline personality disorder, which includes elements of psychotic delusion, I do have a duty of care to not do things deliberately that are going to hurt people who are following me. However, I have to tell you, I can no longer function inside of this box. This project will simply die. I cannot do it anymore. There is so much that I'm not saying that it's crushing me. What is that one phrase that I like saying from the apocryphal gospel, the Gospel of Thomas, the saying of Jesus? If that which is in you is brought out of you, that which is within you will save you. If that which is within you is left within you, that which is in you will destroy you. I really, really believe that. That means I need free reign to speak about other subjects outside of psychology and PTSD. That means I'm afraid I can't be pigeonholed into the rigidity of saying, listen, you can't say that because you're triggering people who you know have PTSD. Then you must leave. If you find my videos triggering, if you find my videos invoke emotional flashbacks, it is time for you to leave. Let us just say this. You learned something. I have enjoyed being of service to you, whether you paid or you've just been here supporting me just with your time and your attention. You've never left a comment. I appreciate it. I genuinely and authentically do. But perhaps it is time to part ways. Let's not cling. Let's not get over-attached. I won't be over-attached to you as somebody who's consuming my content, and you don't be overly attached to me. It genuinely has been a pleasure to have been of service, but perhaps it's time to part ways, I would say. I cannot be the guy who has to tiptoe around triggering people anymore. I would rather close this project down. I am very well aware. I've run several businesses successfully. I'm a good enough businessman, and I know the impact that running certain businesses can have on the psychological health of the individual. I've coached other people through it. I'm at that point now. I must be free to speak freely. This is the part where you think, oh fuck, he's gone crazy. I need to talk about stuff that is more in the region of philosophy and spirituality. I need to be given that freedom. Particularly what is concerning me right now is what I perceive as is going on in the world. I find myself intuitively, we said the word intuition. That's not very scientific. Intuitively drawn to talk more about yin and yang. I don't know where that's come from. Yin and yang has always been there. I've always known about it. But in the last 6 months, I've felt this compulsion, like this is the thing I should be talking to people about. Why? Why? Humanity, grandiose. humanity is going through some kind of a change. We've hit some sort of a boundary. We've hit some sort of a breaking point. We've hit a sink or swim moment in our evolutionary history, I believe. I don't think it's excessive to say that. The stress levels are high. The emotion levels are high. People's emotional responses are reaching fever pitch. In the orchestra that we're in, the tone of the music cannot just go up and 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 up. Eventually, you have to have an end to the crescendo, an orgasmic end to the crescendo. And then there will be a new cycle that slowly and peacefully begins. In order for this particular thing, whatever it is that we're going through, maybe it's what Terence McKenna was saying, eminentizing the eschaton, whatever it is, it's something to do with exploring our polarity. It's something to do with polarity crashing. It's something to do with a fight with duality that we're in. A fight with duality that we have to transcend. It's something to do with mastery leading to transcendence. These are all really pompous sounding terms. I'm aware that I sound like a fucking cult leader at this point. Don't worry, I haven't lost my mind in that way. I think mosquitoes are biting me on the feet. If I'd worn socks, that wouldn't have happened. Let me put my foot up. The other foot stays down. I'm vulnerable. The yang foot went up. The yin foot stayed down. The yin foot remained connected with the earth. Let's have them both up. See, now I'm in like a Buddhist pose. You can't see, but the way my knees are sat, because I am like the Buddha now. I'm enlightened, man. It's something to do with our polarity. It's something to do because there's so much extremes of black and white thinking going on now. There's so much left and right politically, man and woman, black and white. You're either on the blue team, so fuck you, or you're on the red team, in which case everything you do is fine. We're splitting. We're engaging in black and white thinking. We're engaging whole hog in false dichotomies. What are false dichotomies? They're examples of polarities. We've got to master this polarity issue, not avoid it. Transcendence is not avoidance. We've got to master it. We've got to explore it. That means we don't get any more. We're not children. We're not allowed to just say, I'm on the red team, fuck everything the blue team has to say. It's not good enough. It's not going to work. Or I represent the interests of men, so fuck anything a woman has to say. Not good enough. That's not going to work. That's only going to give us more of what we've already got. Who's enjoying what we're getting right now? Nobody. Show me, like, okay, everybody thinks they're raised in a time where everything is going wrong and everything is awful. Okay, fine, yes, every generation says that, fine. Show me a person who loves this time. Show me a person who's looking around at what we've got now going, this is fucking great. This is the awesomest thing that's going on. People are not happy with what's going on right now. We're becoming re-infantilized. Instead of growing, we're shrinking. Instead of transcending, we're just withdrawing. We're hiding behind infantile defenses, and we're not thinking. I know it's hard. I know it's tough. I know you're being bombarded with more information than any human being ever has been in the history of humanity, but you do have a choice. You don't have to be at cause. You don't have to be at effect all the time. You can sometimes be at cause. You don't have to be passive. The way you've lived up until now, throughout your whole life, isn't the only way of being. You have other choices. You can switch it off. You can just say, I'm not watching the news today. I'm not going on Facebook today. I'm not going into my Instagram account today. Or whatever it is that keeps you connected, that keeps culture and propaganda just pumping right into your brain. You can switch it off. You have that choice. You do actually have a modicum of control. But if you're not convinced that it's a problem, you won't do that. It's not a problem. It's Facebook, isn't it? It's just the news, isn't it? It's just my favorite TV show, isn't it? It's all laden with propaganda. It's all laden with ideological trash. You've got to start clearing up for yourself. You've got to start clearing up. Clean up your act and you're off the hook. As a wise woman once said to me, my first spiritual teacher. The polarity issue is the issue of the day. Understanding yin and yang, and understanding yin and yang in its principle, in its core, in its daily, like if and it's not some weird mystical thing that only happens out in the mists of Wudang Mountain with people in silk robes with long ponytails 2,000 years ago. It's now. You've got to be able to walk into McDonald's and see the yin and see the yang and identify it. You've got to be able to talk to the person at the checkout at McDonald's and see what kind of a mental state are they in. Are they in yin? Are they in yang? What end of the polarity are they in? What ends of the polarity are they expressing? Why are so many people trying to avoid the polarities and come to the middle? Why are so many people foregoing all sexual polarity now and coming to the middle, and then just finding that they don't have a sex drive? They don't have any interest in sex. Might not be the worst thing. You know, before now, I was dead set against it. I was like, I think that's a horrifying future for humanity. But now I just say, okay, well, whatever the future is, we can either fight it or accept it. There's a game afoot. Crazy time. Crazy. He's crazy. I think this is a conspiracy, right? Okay, that's slightly crazy. That's like a level 1 crazy thing to say. It's a conspiracy. I have a 3-month-old French pit bull here running around. She's crazy. I'm not even sure that it's material. I'm not even sure that it's like of this dimension. I'm not convinced. There you go. There's crazy. Not even been on drugs. He went to Ibiza. He took all. He's been smoking that Cyril. He's been smoking that. He'll be smoking that Cyril next. He's been taking. I haven't. Don't even drink. I'm on 75 hard. I can't even drink. I can't even eat chocolate. Can't even get a good gâteau high. The most bourgeois high there is. A nice pan au chocolat. Buzz. No, nothing. Nothing at all. Something is going on. There's an agitation. And I believe that we can transcend it. I believe that we're supposed to transcend it. But we've got to master our emotions. So you hear me say, like a stock record, stop emotional flashbacks. Develop your emotional literacy. Stop emotional flashbacks. Develop emotional literacy. I'm fighting like hell to not just say the words. You need to master your emotions, because I know that that's guru speak. That's like cult leader speak. Master your emotions. So I don't want to say that, but the emotionality right now is too much. The emotionality and the suffering that's induced by, and then so suffering induces emotion, and then the emotion induces more suffering. Oi! Shh. The dog next door thinks that my dog is trying to steal the chickens, but the chickens are this big and this little thing is this big. It's like, it's not stealing anything. It would love to, but Maya's got, her name's Maya, by the way. Isn't that funny? It's just a synchronicity, it's just a coincidence. My friend's dog, she's called Maya. It means, I think it means the veil of illusion in Buddhism, the veil of illusion. So the veil of illusion is currently running around my garden trying to eat the chickens from the dimension next door by transcending the boundary and the gate. The guardians of the other dimension are saying, you're not stealing these resources, get back over there, Maya. So the emotionality is caused by suffering, is caused by trauma, and then the emotionality is causing more trauma and causing more suffering. That suffering the suffering is really key. It's a really key issue, really key issue. On the one hand, you would have a Jordan Peterson point of view, which would be suffering is character building, it develops you, it shows you who you are. Then you have Sam Vaknin's counterpoint, which is no, that actually suffering is just pure evil. There is no point in suffering. Suffering should be eradicated from the world. Two polar points of view. I'll play with the polarities and sit in between and take what I can from both. I'll just be like the Tai Chi master, rolling the polarities between the two of those ideas. They're both very strong ideas. I like them both very much. One thing I do know, though, is a side effect of suffering is it keeps people material. It keeps people in the material world. It keeps them localized, which means it keeps them in ego. Ego, in this sense, I just mean your individualized sense of self, which is here and now and material. I am this. I am this many years old. I live at this address. Here is my zip code. Here is my bank account number. Today I have on this color socks. That's local. That's material. I think we've been being told this in many myths for a long time, but maybe we've just missed the point. That the suffering itself, the wounds, actually keep us trapped here, and they keep us trapped in a certain mode of thinking that we would do well to transcend. So, another crazy point for this video. We've got to talk about transcendence, man. We've got to start talking about the reality that we are spiritual beings having a material experience. That's the reality. All the rest is horseshit. Down here, localized, the closer to the earth you are. You ever notice that in the mythology, in the Judeo-Christian mythology, in the Greek mythology before? Earth, and beneath the earth, Hades, the grave. What is it? Tonight we dine in hell was the line from the Spartan king. It's actually tonight we dine in Hades. It's not quite hell, but the idea of hell comes from Hades, comes from the Greeks, and it's the earth and under it. Satan and hell are below. Heaven is above. So the closer to the earth you become, the more trapped inside of the illusions you get. The further away, the more perspective you have. In the Hindu system, you'd be rising up through chakras. You'd be rising up through different energetic points to see things from a different point of view. Perhaps a higher point of view. Rather than being stuck in the material world, you'd start transcending it and seeing beyond it. We've got to start talking about that. Now, I know that people who have a slight issue with emotionality can get really, really triggered by that kind of a subject, can get really, really upset by it. But, like I said in the beginning of this video, guys, I got to talk about it. And I'm not going to not talk about it because some people are going to get upset. I think I just have to accept the fact that this project has gotten to a certain place where I just have to start telling the truth, because there's too much that I'm not saying. I'm like, I can't say that, can't talk about that, can't talk about that. It's going to upset them, it's going to upset them, it's going to upset them. Listen, if you enjoyed the videos on PTSD, CPTSD and recovery, narcissistic abuse, whatever, I'm so happy that you came. But it really is time to consider whether we are just sticking to each other. Like, I'm holding on to you. I don't want to lose people. I really don't. And I know that some people just stick to me, but that's, you know, what would the Buddhists say about that? That's attachment. That's just holding on. And it can become, it's like holding dead energy. The inspiration's gone. The love's gone. It's not the same anymore. I'm not flowing. I'm not feeling it. I'm not alive. I feel sort of half dead as I go through the motions of doing this thing. So I have to take a risk. I have to take a big risk here. Risk being called a nutter. Risk being, I'm sure I'll be called all kinds of names. I'm quite looking forward to that. The truth is, though, I only have one true name, and that is the intradimensional space squid that holds open the portal so that time and awe can flow into this time. I'm just kidding. Or am I? Who can say? Let's see if anybody has any questions or statements to offer me. You not cheating? You cannot not chi, brother. You cannot not chi. Somebody said, squiddly diddly. Oh yeah. Yeah, I'm a squid. Not in this dimension, but, you know, we exist in multiple dimensions at the same time. And the center point of the dimensions through which I meet, I'm a squid. I'm not the only squid though, man. And I'm not the only character inside that squid. There's a lot of us in that squid. Who's attacking you? Wowie. That's so weird, actually. So weird. Just before, this is I'm going to end with this. I slept really, I'm doing 75 hard, as I said, and I trained too hard yesterday. Lol. So today just took 2 walks, took it easy. You have to train twice a day, every day for 75 days, no breaks, no rest days, no cheat meals, nothing. You have to stick to the diet every day, or you go back to the start, which I don't fancy doing. So cortisol levels too high, couldn't sleep last night, so I fell asleep for half an hour before. And have you ever seen Meme Man? He's called Meme Man. He's like a character in the meme world. Nobody owns him. There's like a few people who make really good meme videos of Meme Man. And I had a dream that was Meme Man. And I saw in this Meme Man style I was only lightly dreaming, this vision of the people who were attacking me. And it was this one like weird, like imagine if Alan Moore was obese and extremely pale and miserable looking and zombified, and he was just like slouched in this chair, and he was like, he said, I am an infinite number of beings, and I can always get to you. I can always get to you through all these different people. So the dream was saying, whenever I'm being trolled, like by that dog, I'm always being trolled by this one character. But it was this really crap dream. So in Meme Man, everything is done in like Microsoft Paint. So he kind of like, I'm out there in the universe being a space squid in my dream, and then this entity like trundles along to me and goes, you know, in this weird Meme Man voice, like wherever you are, I could always get to you. So who's attacking me? That dude, that obese Alan Moore dude. That's the one. Maya, 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 Maya. Do you want some apple? Come, come. I don't want to tell you that there's a dog here and then not show you the dog, because it's mean. Come. Come on. Maya doesn't care about your feelings. I have to be honest with you. And then Maya likes to eat apples, though. Yeah. Delicious. Eat it. Okay. Wowee. Let's get some more sun. Yeah, look at that. Nice little sunset there. Okay, ladies and gents. Thank you very much for your time and for your attention and for your indulgence and your patience. And I meant that sincerely. If any of you are just like, all right, that's it. That's too fucking crazy for me. I'm out of here. I do genuinely mean that I appreciate all the support and all the time and attention that you've offered me up until now. Boys and girls, take care.